Hello. Hi, guys. I think I'm ready. Is my microphone on? It looks like it is. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Meg. I am back with a new live stream for you guys. We're here. We're kicking. We're back. I have not done this in a while, but I am really happy to be here for a little bit. I have some time on my hands, and I thought maybe we could hang out and just enjoy each other's company and do some tarot reading together. If you guys are interested in that, please come on in and have a seat. I have a little bit to catch you up on, but in the meantime, after the fact of this, I'm gonna save this video for playback. So if you do catch this after the fact, you'll be able to access my social media because it's listed in the description. I have a list of the decks I'm using, as well as my social medias are listed. I think I've said that already. Anyway, I also have my coffee page listed in the chat. That is where I'm hosting my tip jar right now. If you feel compelled to give, that would be great. However, please know that it is optional and not an obligation. So if you can't right now, or if you don't want to, totally fine. I'm happy to be here. So, okay. All right. So I have not been on live in quite a while, and I've had a lot going on life-wise, just taking care of business around the house and keeping things running as smoothly as they can. There's been a number of times where I have not had the energy to go live, even if I wanted to go live. So that's kind of why the gap. Again, I think I've said this in past posts. I am hoping to make this a more regular thing. And for a while it was, but I do think that it kind of got boring for people. Although I'm speaking from observation and not from what anybody has told me. So if that's the case, I'm sorry for it to have done that in the first place, but I hope that we can make our live streams more engaging down the line. On top of that, I've had family come over. There's been holidays and things like that in between my last stream and this one. So again, my schedule is cleared up enough that I can be back for the time being. Whew. So yeah, I'm doing okay. I've had a couple of weird mental health dips, but they weren't too bad. I've bounced back from them relatively okay, and we're okay. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. I did come into some new tarot decks, some new card decks that we will be featuring in today's reading. We'll be featuring them in today's reading, but I wanted to share them with you now. We'll be using the Dreamscape Oracle. This is by Matt Hughes. Okay. And if you know Matt Hughes, he's also done a tarot called Ethereal Visions that we will also be using for the card reading. Okay. And on top of that, very excited to have this one. We have the Witch Oracle by Angi, Sullins, and Silas Toball. So again, gorgeous decks. I'm happy you found these. The reason I mention them is, yes, kind of to show off. I will admit that I am doing that. But on top of that, I wanted to let you know that, yes, we'll be using them, and I will be doing my best to interpret them intuitively rather than by the book. So if you know the messages from the cards, if you know the deck and you know the messages that come from the cards as being different, let me know. I would love to start a conversation with you guys, either in the chat or in the comments after the fact. So yeah. Also, reminder, hydration is important. You'll see me doing that a lot. So cheers. Okay. So we're going to get started. If you are new to my readings, what I generally like to do is read a couple of cards from my oracle decks and then go into a tarot reading to kind of get a full and complete picture of what's going on. Any messages that will come through hopefully are resonant and helpful. I like sharing my readings with you, and I hope that something comes of it that will add value to your energy space. Okay. And also, please feel free to ask any questions. If you have any comments, concerns, feedback of any kind, please let me know. I do reserve the right to moderate the chat and the live feed as I see fit. So if there's anything that is, if there's anything that goes against YouTube's guidelines or is personally, if it's insulting or is making people feel unsafe, I will notice it. I will see it. And like I said, I will moderate it as I see fit to. So just a heads up, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. But please keep in mind that I see your words. Other people see your words as well. Okay. So let's stop rambling and get started with the reading. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to read 2 cards a piece from each oracle. Give me a minute here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, given that I've rambled on and on about myself, I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully the last couple of weeks haven't been treating you very well. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's focus on shuffling, right? Okay. Alrighty. You know what? I'm going to take second card out of the oracle. We're going to look at hidden and clarifying energy, but I will redraw for those when I get back around to it. So, okay. So to start with our main reading here, okay, we have the Judge. I'm sorry about the glare. We have the Judge. Okay. Alrighty, that was the Judge. We have the Koi Fish. Okay. Here's the Koi Fish. Alrighty. We have the Inner Temple, which represents devotion and the act of tuning into the portal of your heart. Okay. And on top of that, we have you got the love. This represents Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Okay. So the immediate situation that comes to mind here is that there is someone in your space, or perhaps you're the person in somebody else's space that is, I guess, sort of testing a boundary, or you are having a boundary tested. Okay. I'm getting here because there is this judge energy, this act of needing to tap in to yourself here, your selfhood, your personal your selfhood. Okay. Because the situation doesn't seem to be very clear right now. You're not sure who's doing what, or what is going to result from this boundary being tested here, and that's why you're being called to look at what's on your heart right now. Okay. And part of the issue that seems to be causing, potentially part of this issue that seems to be causing this testing of this boundary here, is that the waters seem to be muddy. Okay. They seem to be muddy, but it might be a superficial kind of muddiness. Okay, so the surface water isn't very clear. You're not seeing the depths. You're not understanding how, you're not understanding the nuances and the complexity of the situation. So perhaps taking the time to go a little bit deeper and find some sense of the depths and the nuance, that's going to help you figure out, okay, what's actually happening here? How can I gain some perspective on this? And what do I need to do in order to help myself, through this situation? Okay. Let's see. Let's get into some tarot. See what comes of that. What else do we need to know about this situation in order to make it come a little bit clearer? Okay, what do we need to see? What? Okay, you know what? Okay. So we had 3 cards pop out immediately in that. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay. We have the Ace of Swords. All right. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles. All righty. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So what I said about gaining some perspective on your situation here, you have the Ace of Swords. There might be a couple of things that you missed in terms of what there might be some things that you missed in terms of reading the situation. And I think part of it was that you hyper fixated on an element of it that maybe wasn't the most important. Okay, and that's what you got stuck on. Okay, I'm getting here because we have the 8 and the 9 of Pentacles here. We're going to focus on the 8 of Pentacles. That's the 9. We'll get to the 9 of Pentacles. Let's focus on the 8 of Pentacles here. because this Eight of Pentacles energy is about focus, hard work, diligence, and that's putting yourself to a task that really is meaningful to you. In this case, especially with this situation, this boundary that's being tested, you've hyperfixated on one potentially unimportant element of that situation, and now you're being called to slow down and reassess things so that you can there is a new perspective to be had here. And what you're working towards is bringing that knowledge into what you know, so that your situation, so that your understanding of that situation can be complete, rather than you staying in a place where you have to operate from complete lack of knowledge. Okay. Now, that might require you to step back, to take a break, to try and understand, try and understand if there were elements of that could have been assessed more deeply. This is a chance to take a break from the work you're doing, this hyperfixation on this small, tiny little element that you've hyperfixated on, to now sort of taking a step back and looking at the things that you should be focused on, and generally the Nine of Pentacles will say, or I will define the card as being the opportunity to enjoy what you've built. In this case, yes, you built a foundation and you've been very firm and sure about standing on it. But now it might be time to see where that foundation could use some shoring up, some reinforcement. Okay, and that's going to require you to step away from this. Okay. Okay. So, let's see what else we need to see, please. What else do we need to see? What else do we need to see, please? Okay. All right. So we're going to see the Queen of Coins. All right. We have the Queen of Coins. We have the Three of Wands. Okay. We have the Three of Wands. And we have the Six of Wands. Okay. Alrighty. So, what I'm getting from this part of it here is that there is some changes that do need to be made. Okay, especially because we have our Ace of Swords energy here. Okay, working on integrating this new perspective into our space will require us to look at what we have, look at what we're needing to change. But the fact of the matter is that there is a change that will need to happen. Okay, and as with anything, if you're not a fan of things changing too fast, raising my hand there, it can feel very ungrounding and can feel very very shaky, and I don't like that. I don't know anybody who does. I might not be looking deep enough. That's a me thing. But what we're looking at here is taking the advice from this Queen of Coins here and addressing this necessary change in a way that is practical and understanding. Okay. We also have the Three of Wands here, which to me suggests a period of time where you will have to be actively planning for things to happen because the change is anticipated. You're not sure when it's going to happen. Okay. However, there needs to be a strategic, grounded, practical approach because this new perspective is it's going to have to come in if you want things to change, right? You know, it's going to have to be processed if you want your situation around this boundary testing. If you want that to change, it's, you know, some practical and strategic planning is going to have to happen, okay? And it is going to potentially require a lot of work. Not fun, not really all that fun, but there are rewards for your efforts, okay? And people will see the kinds of things you're trying to do to help yourself. And, you know, even if they don't compliment you, even if they don't validate your efforts, they still do see it. And some of them really do want you to succeed. Okay, there are people in your energy space that do want you to succeed. Those that don't want you to succeed, at this point, I would say don't worry about them unless they're giving you problematic energy. Just keep going, keep planning, and keep doing what you need to do. Okay. Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that. All right. Let's see what we need to see. What else do we need to see, please? What else do we need to see? Okay. So, so we're going to look at the Nine of Cups. You have the Nine of Cups. Okay. Here's the Nine of Cups. Okay, we have the Chariot. Ooh, okay. There's the Chariot. All right, Nine of Cups. We have the Chariot. And we have the Ten of Wands. Okay. All righty. So, cool part about the fact that you're doing this work is that things are becoming clear to you about how you need to move forward. Okay. You're starting to understand that you don't need to be so intently focused on that detail that you've chosen to pick out of your situation. Okay, that's kind of clouded your way. That's made you feel disempowered. It's made you feel bad, frankly. And now that you're starting to pull back, it's coming up with the fact that, oh, I don't have to focus on this. I have a clearer, more understanding. I have a clearer path, and I have the understanding of how to move my needle forward. Okay. I think part of this hyperfixation has had you kind of shut off certain filters for yourself. And that's where either your boundary has been tested or you are testing somebody else's boundary. And of course, that just comes with a lot of weird problems that they're uncomfortable to deal with. And I get it. I get it. However, now that you're thinking, you're reassessing, it's like, I don't need to do this thing over here. I can get myself down the road without having to focus on every other thing that is coming up here. Yes, some of that will need to be addressed, and I have a means of going through that. I have a means of addressing this safely, practically in a grounded way. Okay. But when the time comes to put the keys in the ignition and go, I'll know how to do that. Okay. I won't necessarily get stuck. Okay. The other part of this, the other really important part of this is that while this issue is presenting you with an important responsibility, okay, it's a very important responsibility, and you've chosen to bear that weight in your shoulders. It isn't so much about it isn't so much about the weight of the responsibility as it is you feeling. It's been happening all day. Give it a sec. Sorry, guys.
Call from Crazy Energy Stuff.
Huh? What?
Call from Crazy Energy Stuff.
Don't know who that is. I'm sure it's all not picking up. Anyway. So yeah, in spite of the fact that you've chosen to shoulder this responsibility, you set yourself at a sense of peace and a sense of well-being. And part of that has come from the empowerment that you allowed yourself to feel because of this Chariot card. Okay. And because you have the Queen of Coins and the Three of Wands. So yeah, the fact that you've planned for the fact that you're planning yourself through this reassessment process is definitely allowing you to feel a lot better about the situation. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we need to see, please. What else do we need to see? Okay, what else do we need to see? Okay. All right. So we are going to start with the Water Prince. I'm reading this as the Knight of Cups. Okay. So here's the Knight of Cups, or Water Prince, if you want to get technical here. The Knight of Cups. Okay. We have the Lovers. Okay, we have the Lovers. Okay. And we have the Hermit. Okay. Well, yeah, you have a choice. There's always going to be a choice. There's always going to be some things that change. Okay. And in this regard, we've talked a lot about having boundaries, whether personal or someone else. Those boundaries are being tested, right? And we have the choice whether to keep going or to pause and reassess. And it's very much likely that we're choosing to pause and reassess. Okay. And you've done the work. I think for some of you, you've really done the work and gone deep with your own sense of self, your own personhood. That's important. Okay, that really is important because it is, it's been the kind of thing that you have genuinely needed to do this work. And it's because you've chosen to do this work. Let's talk about a hermit card here. Nope, hermit. There it is. Yeah, choices. I get you. I feel you. Relax for a bit there. Hermit. This is about removing yourself a little bit from the situation. Like I said, you're pulling back and saying, actually, we need to reassess. We need to go forward in a different way. Okay. And the reason you come to that, the reason you've gotten to this chariot energy finally, is the fact that the path you found yourself on is truly your own. Okay, it's nobody else's. It's not been prescribed to you. It's not been forced on you in any way, and it's given you the chance to really dig deep into your intuition and understanding of who you are. And in that way, you've been able to, again, put the keys in the ignition of your car and drive it down the road. Okay. And you've done, there's been a lot of growth. Okay. There has been a genuine, there's been a noticeable amount of emotional and spiritual growth that you've been able to do during this time. And because I'm reading this as the Knight of Cups, you're very much hard on your sleeve kind of person. You're very much about saying what you feel, acting by what you feel, putting your heart front and center, even at the risk of it getting broken. Okay. In this case, yes, you've done that, but also you've chosen to keep something of that just for you. Okay. And something I feel compelled to say here. Again, because as evidenced by this Hermit card and Chariot, yes, you've chosen to hold a piece of yourself back because even if you're looking at the foundations under your feet, even if you're reassessing the situation, it's still, I don't want to say it's coming at a heavy cost, but things will change and things will change and things will start looking a bit different for you once these changes are made. Okay. And I don't think any of this is a bad thing. I don't think any of this is a good thing. What you bring to the situation, how you're coloring it, is what it is. Okay. So your perspective on things will tell you all you need to know about it, right? It's your choice entirely, right? Let's see what else we need to see here, because we do have hidden and clarifying energy that I want to go through with you guys as well. So there could be some nuances underneath it that we would benefit from seeing. Okay. So let's see some hidden energy here. I'm going to start with our oracle, and then move into the tarot for each portion of this. Hidden energy, starting with our oracles. Okay, we have the maiden journey. Okay, we have the maiden journey. Alrighty. We have the light. Okay, we have the light. Okay. We have the ever unfolding rose. And let me get another card out here. We also have perspective. Okay. The ever unfolding rose says it's cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Okay. So there's the ever unfolding rose. And we have perspective, which says none of this matters. Zoom out and common good. Yeah. Okay. So even our hidden energy suggests to pull out, to zoom out a little bit and stop hyperfixating on a single issue that isn't of any concern, right? Yeah, it's confirmed in. And the other thing that we need to know is that we're making these changes because we feel compelled to. Something in this situation is said, actually, whatever this is isn't working. You need to pull away from the situation and figure out what it is and work to change it. Okay? It's become very clear that we've had to do this work, okay? Because we have this light energy. God damn it. Sorry. We have this light energy here, okay? So that to me represents a lot of clarity, a lot of understanding, and I'm pointing to my third eye for a reason here because this has come very intuitively. But also, there's a new journey to be had during this time as well, and it's important that we plan well, that we understand and empower ourselves in order to move on from this situation. Okay. Well, let's see some tarot in terms of our hidden energy. What do we need to see for our hidden tarot here? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, there's the Seven of Swords. Okay, we have the Three of Coins. Okay, we have the Three of Coins. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles. All right, and we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So, yeah, the hidden energy, there's something about the situation that you're in with this other person. There is another person involved. I mean, for some of you, this might be resonant, but please take this as you will. There is another person here. Again, whether that's you or someone outside of you, you know your situation. But there's something very secretive. Okay, whether, again, like I said, some of you are either hyperfixated or this is someone hyperfixating on a very small detail, potentially unimportant. That's what's testing the boundary here. What is helping this issue along, not for the positive, is that there is something that isn't being told or that hasn't been told. Okay, it's become very clear there's something more going on. Okay, now how I get to this other person is this Three of Coins energy. All right, this is a teamwork. This is a project that should have been compatible with everybody. But again, there's something maybe a little bit off balance in how you're trying to achieve it. And that's what's become clear. That's another part of it that's become clear. Okay. But again, what I said about having some filters shut off is that you're your hyperfixation or this other person's hyperfixation is, it's making you look at certain things, but not in an objective way, not in an objective way. So the Queen of Swords is usually very smart, very very observant. You can't get anything past them. Okay. In this case, your perspective on the matter might be a little bit closed and a little bit skewed. Okay, and it's preventing you from really being present for this other person and with this other person. Likewise, this other person might not be present or able to be generous with you. Okay, and those things, that's nerve-wracking. That's nerve-wracking. Again, I think we've hit the trigger. Okay, and making the change to alleviate the stress and the nervousness that is coming with this, it's probably making it feel a lot worse. You know, ugh, ooh. No, what do we do with it? Let's clarify it and see what we need to see. Why are we seeing this? What do we do with it? Some of you might find this rough, and I don't blame you. I really do not blame you. Okay, so let's see. Clarifying energy. What do we need to know? Okay, right. We have the dreamer. The glare is obnoxious. We have the dreamer. Okay. Yeah, we have the dreamer. Okay. We have memory. Okay. We have the memory. All right. Okay. We have jump in, which represents Andromedan energy, adventure, and say yes to change. Well, okay. Wow. Okay, and we also have Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, which says seeding the light, laying foundations, and a divine plan. Okay, all right. So we're gonna talk about this change, because even if it is as icky and weird as it's gonna feel in the process of making it, remember that we have this change happening for us and not to us. There's some really good things on the other side of this, and I'm gonna let you speculate about what those things might be. It is going to require work and it is going to require effort. Okay, but remember that you have the ability to be practical and grounded in the way that you're making these changes. Okay. And all you have to do is say yes to it, right? That's easier said than done. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm not good with change. Not good with change, but you know what? Even if it feels weird to say yes, there's a plan in place for you. Believe it or not, that's for you. Resonate or don't. Totally cool. But the good thing about this is that the foundation under your feet is going to feel that much stronger and that much more, it'll be so much more effective in the way that you move forward on things, right? The other thing that you have in your favor is that, yes, things are happening for you, okay? But you'll always have a memory of the things you've learned along the way, and that those might not be easy lessons to hold on to. Okay. When you can get yourself into a place of acceptance, if you can, I know some of that, trying to be sensitive to the fact that some people have a harder time integrating and making changes this big, right? So I do think for some of you this feels a little bit bigger than you're ready for. There'll be a memory of the things you picked up along the way, what you've learned, how you've been able to understand those things. Okay, the ability you have to understand what you learned is much different. It will be much different. Okay, and the memory of that process is going to stay with you. Okay. More important than that, though, is you'll realize the ability you have to achieve your dreams. You're a dreamer. You've got a big heart. You have something that nobody else does. Okay? You have a dream that is specific and unique to you. And when you stop hyperfixating on that one thing that may be pushing somebody's boundaries, and when you rid yourself of this thing that is testing your boundaries, you'll be able to go forward and achieve what you're looking to achieve, right? You'll be able to say, actually, I'm not holding with any of the things that are trying to be sold to me, if that makes any sense. You'll be able to move forward on your dreams. Okay? So, there's the dreamer. Okay. Let's see some clarifying energy with our tarots. Okay. Alrighty. We're looking at the Hanged Man. So there's the Hanged Man. Okay. There's the Hanged Man. We have the Five of Wands. Okay. We have the Five of Wands. Okay. Alrighty. We have the Tower. Okay. We have the Tower. And we have the Nine of Swords. Okay. Well, nobody said change was easy. Okay. And Nine of Swords. Yeah, nobody said this change was going to be easy. In fact, it's going to bring up some conflict for you. You have this Five of Wands, you have this Nine of Swords, and you have the Tower. So yeah, nobody said this change was going to be easy. Nobody said this change was going to come for free. Okay. Basically what I mean by that is this it's going to be messy. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like you're out of control. Okay. And it's probably going to feel out of control because you won't have any choice but to go through it. Okay. We'll continue talking about our, continue talking about our Hanged Man energy here. But it's this anxiety, this nervousness, this conflict that you're feeling yourself go through. It's not going to look like it's for your highest benefit while it's happening. Okay. And this is what I'm saying, that once you pull back, once you've taken the opportunity to pull back, certainly do some healing from this, because this is big. This is nerve-wracking. This is definitely feeling a bit like a garbage fire. But at the end of the day, what's falling apart probably isn't serving you all that well. And it's not serving you all that well because it was probably never meant for you in the first place. Okay, I say that with the understanding that we always will bring in the energies that we attract to us, and it's up to us to bounce it off if it doesn't resonate, right? In this case, what's being bounced off isn't resonating with our energy anymore. Deep down, you feel that. Okay, I think part of this boundary testing was that you were trying to hold on to that energy because it was safe, it was comfortable, it was what you knew. And now it's like, I don't need it anymore, and I instinctively know I don't need it anymore, but I'm having trouble pushing it away. Now that things have changed, it's like I don't have a choice but to push it away. And it feels weird not to have it with me anymore. Okay. Let's talk about our Hanged Man for a minute here, because we also have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this is from the main energy reading here. So remember how I talked about the having certain filters being shut off by this hyperfixation, or not really observing what is going on. Okay, now you're really not presented with a choice. You have to look at what's changing, and you have to look at it. Okay, because this is a matter of allowing your perspective to be clarified by the situation. And remember that we talked about a lot of emotional and spiritual growth, and it's finally becoming clear that, yeah, I got to do this, and it's going to suck, but I'm empowered already. I know I can do it. I don't have to be afraid of doing it. And there are things in the future waiting for me that I can look forward to. Okay. So that was a lot. I think we're going to need a bit of a water break. So if you are tuning in and you do have a comforting beverage at the ready, please go ahead and have a sip or two of that. I'm taking some water in, so here you go. Cheers, my friends. It's been a lot. I hope that's been helpful and resonant with you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to call this stream done from here. I have some other things I need to take care of this evening, so I hope the stream was helpful and resonant with you. Again, it will be saved for playback if you want to see this after the fact. All my socials, the decks I've used, everything's in the description. If you want to leave a tip, my tip jar is included in the description. But if you are following the chat, let's try that. It is in the chat. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one, and hopefully we can run it a bit longer. In the meantime, stay safe, and I will see you very soon. Bye, everybody. Okay. And